Hello everyone. So today I want to talk to you about why having a mentor or a coach is so important in order to get the results that you desire. So I want you to really think about this because there's so many reasons why we all need coaches and mentors in different areas of our lives. And when you can have somebody who can show you how you can achieve anything that you want and the basic steps of how to get there and take you through one by one, you're going to achieve that so much faster than through trial and error on your own. Especially if you are somebody who I was like, where I spent years and years just gaining as much information as I could. I kept taking it all in, from different sources, different people all over the place, but nothing was changing in my life. I wasn't able to implement it correctly, and this can cause a lot of confusion. So when you have somebody who can listen to you, your story, your situation, your personal experience, where you are now and where you are going, and can help tailor the information and understand how to implement it so it's going to help you get the results that you desire, that is one of the biggest and most important reasons why you need a mentor. It helps keep you accountable. So I don't know if any of you have ever done a sport, for example, or played an instrument, but I know when I was playing in band and when I was swimming, when I had a team and a coach and somebody telling me, you have to do these exercises, you have to do this set, you've got to do, 400s or whatever the set was, and they're sitting there over you, making sure you're doing it, right? And then when I graduate from college and I'm on my own and I try to get into a pool, I go a little bit, I'm like, I'm kind of tired, and then I decide I'm done with the workout, right? So you have somebody or something that is keeping you accountable, where you say, I'm going to exercise this many days a week. And there has to be some way that you're held accountable for that. It is so easy for us to shift and fall back into our old patterns and ways. So this is, if you don't make the deeper shift with your paradigms and your subconscious mind, then you're going to fall right back in unless you have somebody holding you accountable and making sure you're taking all the steps you need so you can get those results and get them faster. So this is another really important reason why we need a mentor. So another reason is being able to, like I said, have individual guidance. There is a lot of information out there. And I just want to challenge you for a second that if you sit there and say, well, I know all of this, I already know everything, but then I want to say, are the results where you want them to be? Are you living the life that you desire? Are you getting what you want? Because if you're not, then you may know it on a conscious level. You may have some information floating around in here, but you have not internalized that. You have not created the new neural pathways. And this brings me to one of my most important points is creating new neural pathways. So there's two really ways to do this, right? Now we had discovered years ago that there's this beautiful thing called neuroplasticity. We used to think that your brain is just, your mind is what it is, and you're not going to be able to change or create or do different things with it as you grow once you reach a certain age. But we've understood that that is not actually true. So how you gain more knowledge and understanding is you create these different neural pathways. So you have connections, so many connections coming through, right? So how do we do that where we get to the point where this is ingrained in us on a subconscious level, where we don't have to concentrate on it, like tying your shoes. You don't have to think about tying your shoes or driving home from work. You don't have to think about that. You just know where you're going. Sometimes you get home and you're like, I don't even remember how I got here, because your automatic pilot took over. Your subconscious, you became an unconscious competent. You knew what you were doing. So to get to that point, two things need to happen. You need a lot of repetition, which not all of us like, and that's where we need that accountability to make sure we're actually doing the repetition. Like you might say, for example, the book Think and Grow Rich. Like, oh yeah, I read that like 20 years ago. Great, you read it once. How are those policies, how are those principles turning out in your life right now? Did you really internalize what you read? Reading through something one time is not going to give you the same result. You've got to have repetition. You've got to have somebody making sure you're doing this. And then also, it's by seeing somebody else who is doing what you want to be doing, who is living a life that you want, who steps ahead of you on the scale, because we learn by watching other people. This is another way where we build more neural pathways. So you need all of these different things in order to be able to reach your goals and reach them faster. I heard an alarming and saddening statistic the other day that 99% of people, and it may even be higher, die with the majority of their desires unfulfilled. How many people do you know who had dreams, who had wishes, who had a different way of life that they wanted to live, and they never got there? So I don't want that to happen to you. And this is why I want you to think about and really consider having a mentor or a coach to help you get to that next level, so that you don't have to be one of those statistics. You can be in that 1% who actually has lived a fulfilling life that they really desired.